What's up guys, JR Raymond back again, coming to you from BowlerX Training Center and Pro Shop here inside Waterford Lanes, where today I'm actually going to use a tool which everybody kind of has. I'm sure somebody has this one in your house somewhere. But we're going to take a clock and I'm going to show you how you can think about this clock and what your hand does and how to generate different releases by using the clock. Stay tuned. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this clock and we're gonna try to figure out how we can utilize it as best we can to try and understand a little bit about hand positions. How can we use the numbers on the dial to manipulate what our ball does? So most people think of when they curve the ball, they think they have to turn their hand over, they have to spin it with their hand, they have to do all this crazy stuff, and that's just not the case in bowling. Most people understand that when you're curving the ball, when you're hooking the ball, your thumb comes out first, then your fingers release. 9 times out of 10, whatever you're trying to do, most times your palm stays up. You're trying to keep your palm up. All the manipulation is just in the angle that your fingers are in the ball. And then the actual rotation is created by the angle of your fingers and your thumb and the direction that they face as you release it. So with the clock, I'm gonna turn it this way. So I'm basically gonna turn it upside down so it's like this. And if my hand is at the bottom of the release just like this, you can see my fingers are at 12 o'clock, okay? Now all I'm trying to do to create more rotation, because if I release it like this, obviously my wrist is at 6, my fingers are at 12. The thing to keep in mind is that your wrist stays at 6 all the time. We don't want it pointing to the side. We want it to try to stay at 6 as much as possible. So what we're gonna do is to roll it straight end over end, we're gonna release it right here from 12. And we're gonna release it straight up just like that. It's gonna roll dead end over end. There's gonna be no rotation. As we rotate our fingers on the clock to the left, to 11, to 10, to 9, and even coming down this way, we're creating more side rotation. Okay, so we want to try to create side rotation to get the ball to hook and do different things down lane. The straighter we play the lanes, the more towards 12 o'clock you're going to be most times. Sometimes you may have to use these types of releases because maybe you're using a short pin layout or a urethane ball and you're trying to really get it to go through the pins the right way. One of those things would be like an anomaly or an extreme case of when you would use that type of release. But as you go this way on the clock from 11 to 10 to 9, generally it's forcing you to be further left because that's creating more motion down lane. So again, when you're releasing the ball, your fingers stay to the inside part of the ball, right? So this outside stays to the right, your point of your elbow stays into your hip, your hand is at the clock, and if you're releasing from further in, you're gonna get more rotation around. So we're going this way and we're rotating around. So we can use the dial on the clock to understand which direction we actually need to go in. So I hope this helps. Maybe just to give you a little bit of a reference to think about when you're out playing and you're out, trying to practice a little bit. So just stand at the foul line, maybe do some drills, stand there, think about your hand being on the clock and rotating your hand on that clock and just getting you got it. The key is to get your thumb out first, and the thumb's got to come out super fast. Now, if you don't use your thumb, this can still work for you. You can still do this with as a two-handed bowler. Now you're just doing it, if this is the ball, now you're just still doing it just with your fingers, and your fingers rotate to the side. This is another good way to look at it here. It's rolling straight this way, right? If I'm rolling it like this, it's at 12 o'clock straight away. As I go this way, now you can see the roll would change to the side, and I would be spinning it off to the side. So this is a good tool for a two-handed bowler, one-handed bowler, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you go practice this, do the drill at the foul line, and see if you can't do multiple releases and understand the difference between what they're gonna do on the lane.